Japan has an annual contest. It's called Electric Car of the Year. Now, the Japanese are very patriotic. They love buying Japanese cars. However, they have a bit of a problem in Japan right now. And this is what it is. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to see you. Japanese car manufacturers, they don't make many electric cars. The ones they make aren't that good. To be honest, let's be realistic here. There isn't any really compelling electric cars manufactured in Japan. I've said this a few times, and if you don't believe me, well, even Japan says that. The 2023 Japan Electric Car of the Year was a Chinese manufactured BYD electric car. Here's the thing. Third place was also a BYD. Another BYD. In second place, well, it wasn't Japanese either. It was a Korean-made Hyundai or Hyundai. Japan is, well, one of the largest car manufacturing countries on the face of the earth. It's, of course, completely dependent on its automotive market. Without the automotive market, well, Japan's economy would shrink in size by about half, say many experts. Which is a big problem when you consider that many of its car manufacturers are likely to go bankrupt within the next 10 years. I'm very, very convinced of that happening. However, despite Japan's appetite for all EVs, for electric cars, being quite low, probably because its own manufacturers don't make them, the truth is, in 2023, just 2% of Japan's car sales were fully electric. Now, of course, the fact that Toyota and Honda only have a few EVs available in Japan and other manufacturers don't make many either, other Japanese ones, isn't helping their adoption. If they did make them, I think EV adoption would be a lot higher in Japan. So, BYD wants to take over the Japanese car market. Now, Tesla apparently are pretty aggressive as well. They're wanting to take over a significant percentage of Japan's automotive market. But BYD specifically, they are intent on taking huge market share there. And they've just won. The 2023 Japan Electric Car of the Year award was hosted by EV industry media outlet EV Smart and energy consultant AnyChange, with the candidates receiving votes from journalists and from readers. So even Japanese readers of this magazine didn't vote for any Japanese cars. Just interesting. The list of contenders this year included vehicles, though, from other countries. It included the Volkswagen ID.4, the Tesla Model S and X, and the Tesla Model 3, the Fiat 500e, and the Hyundai Kona. Now, last year, a vehicle that almost no one outside of Japan has ever heard of, called the Nissan Sakura, which is an EV, a compact small EV, it actually won the award. So you can see, yeah, the Nissan, Sakura was really voted in because it was a small kind of kei car, a small car. And Japanese consumers love these small cars. And that's the big advantage that Dolphin has, right? It's in that kind of market segment. The Dolphin EV took top spot according to readers and the automotive industry experts in Japan. Now, keep in mind, the Japanese version is the same as the Chinese version. It's smaller than the version sold in Thailand, in Australia, and in Europe. So it's a bit different, a bit shorter. And one of the things this is good for is it really helps in Japan where parking it's challenging, right? There's not a lot of parking in Japan. There's 122 million people. It's a relatively small country. The cities are very busy, and really the parking spots are not very big. So having a small car like this, it's a big benefit. It's a lot different in size to, say, something like a Tesla Model 3, which is much, much, much bigger than the Japanese-made Dolphin, or the Japanese variant of the Dolphin, I should say. The BYD Atto 3 actually came third, surprisingly, and the Hyundai Kona EV, which is made in South Korea, came in second place with 151 points. So the Dolphin was well ahead, right? The Dolphin scored 241 points. The Kona was 151 and the Atto 3 was 145. So you can see here that it was pretty much dominance here from the BYD Dolphin when it comes to winning the award. Interestingly, The scarcity of Japanese electric car models in this test. There wasn't many Japanese EVs that you could even pick from. From the 18 vehicles, only 4 of them were Japanese. The Lexus RZ, and then 3 electric work vans. Now the Lexus RZ, it's basically a Lexus version of the Toyota BZ4X, which Japanese consumers don't believe is very good either. And they're not the only ones. Journalists and consumers in the rest of the world would agree with them. I think even Toyota admits it's not that great. Anyway, quite incredible to think that China is now first and third in terms of the perception of the value and ability of its EVs, of BYD's electric cars. So this is quite a surprise coming from Japanese buyers who definitely have a bit of a complex in terms of believing, Japanese products are significantly better than Chinese made products. But things appear to be changing. And I believe consumers in Japan now think that the tables have turned, that Chinese made EVs are actually better than Japanese EVs. And they would be right. As Japanese automakers, though, start to lose share basically in the Chinese car market, which is going EV really fast, China's exports are catching on really well in many countries, but particularly in Japan. Now, if you're wondering about the Dolphin in this test, there's 2 versions available. One of them has a 45 kilowatt lithium iron phosphate blade battery, and there's also a 59 kilowatt lithium iron phosphate blade battery as well. Now, the smaller battery pack, that's going to give you a range of around 400 kilometers. That's 248 miles. The bigger battery pack, 295 miles or 476 kilometers. That's on the WLTC cycle, which is, not probably a little bit generous. So you can take about 5% off those numbers to get a real world figure. Anyway, considering the price of these cars is incredibly very, very, very low. They're cheaper than comparable Japanese vehicles, which, there isn't really any of them anyway. And to give you an idea, the Dolphin cost $24,500 in Japan. Now, there's nothing else at that price in Japan that is as good. So you can really see why people are voting for the Dolphin. The Atto 3 obviously competes with the Tesla Model Y. The Atto 3 costs $30,000, which is around 4.5 million yen. It comes with the 58.6 kilowatt hour, so the 59 kilowatt hour battery pack. It has a driving range of 292 miles, which is 470 kilometers. And the Atto 3 has been the best selling EV outside of China. I think that might change with the Dolphin now being sold in many countries around the world and being, a smaller car that more people can afford and can fit into parking spaces in places like in Europe and Southeast Asia. But either way here, guys, the Japanese car manufacturers should be very concerned. There's no way that they can manufacture an EV at the quality of the BYD Dolphin for the price that BYD makes them for. When you consider the fact that BYD is making billions of dollars selling batteries, it's the second biggest manufacturer of batteries worldwide. And it actually manufactures the Dolphin and sells them for $14,000 in China. In fact, I believe the cheapest version is around $13,000 in China. BYD say they're making a profit on those. There's just no way that Japanese automakers will ever be able to do that. Well, at least not within the next 5 years. And that means BYD has basically free reign to the Japanese car market. It has no competition in that market segment. That means as well, BYD as a brand is getting a lot of recognition in Japan, which is probably not what Toyota or Honda had in mind when they just, began trashing EVs 5 years ago and continued to do so. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.